I usually start my videos with some intense sarcasm, but I just feel so good today. Not only am I not going to start with some sarcasm, I'll get straight to the point, and I've got my bottle with both hands. That's right. Today I'm using a different gadget in recording my videos, not my phone, because I found something like really cool this laptop can do, and until I find something better, I'll be using this laptop. So prepare yourselves, because this man's content, scratch that out, the Summer Sambit's content is about to get even better. Now, I'm going to get to why you clicked on this thumbnail and the title. You saw that I was right about something and you still clicked on it. So now I'm sure you're wondering, you sitting there watching me, why? What was Summer right about? I'm sure it invoked some curiosity in you. That's why you clicked on the thumbnail. If it didn't invoke any curiosity in you, you weren't going to click on it. Facts. Now, what was I right about, right? I gotta give you the value you were expecting, as I always do. What I was right about is, first, let me give it to you like this. Remember the video I went viral in? That's right, the video you first watched of me, which is probably my most popular one. The one where I talk about the harsh reality the SA youth face on a daily basis. Yup, that one. The one that made Summer Sambit officially the Summer Sambit. The one that made me known by about 2,000 people at the time. Yeah, I'm talking about that one. I was right about the fact that this country was going downhill. This country was going backwards. This country was doing the opposite of what your president said he was going to do. What your president said he was going to do a few months ago, or a month ago at the State of the Nation address, was that he said he was going to create more job opportunities. And that's a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to create more job opportunities for the people, especially if you're the president. But there's just one slight problem. You said the same thing last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. Basically, since the dawn of your democracy. And if you've been doing this since the dawn of your democracy with zero change, scratch that. If you've been doing this since the dawn of democracy with negative changes, with the opposite happening instead of what you actually want to happen, what do the people think? What do the people see you as? We certainly don't see you as the same person we saw you as when we voted for you. That's a fact. I'm not saying I did. But the people who voted for you know they did. But this is not a target to the president. No, no, no. This is a target to each and every individual that runs this place, that truly runs this place, because I know there's people higher than the president. The people that actually run this place, who make the president say all this garbage. Or maybe it is actually him who says all this junk. We're going backwards, we're going downhill. I'm not even trying to criticize anyone here. We've been going backwards, even before him. It's not like I'm trying to do anything. The load shedding thing, don't even get me started there. I could talk the whole day on that. I'm just talking on what I was right about. Scratch that out. I'm just talking on one of the things I was right about, which is the youth situation. 93,000 people lost their jobs. This is breaking news. When you're watching this video, SABC News is going to be talking about it. That's right, I'm ahead of the curve. Just kidding, I just watched it just now. But you get the idea. No matter who you get the news from, news is still news. Especially when you get it from this guy. 93,000 people lost their jobs in the second quadrant of the financial year. That is a disaster and a disgrace for the country. Because it is just a month later from the State of the Nation address, the exact opposite has happened. And what you notice, if you're someone who's very analytical in mind, you notice that each and every quadrant, plus or minus 100,000 people, it's an estimate of plus minus 100,000 people lose their jobs. And correct me if I'm wrong, in a financial year, in a business financial year, there are 4 or 3 quadrants. If there are 3 quadrants, in case I'm wrong, that means 300,000 people lose their jobs annually in South Africa. If there's 4 quadrants, again, I might be wrong, that means 400,000 people lose their jobs on a yearly basis in South Africa. I've said this before and I will say it again. If you're rich as shit and you want to smash hard Hans every day and you want to live the time of your life and you want to enjoy retirement in paradise, or you just want to live some of that bachelor life, this is the country to be in. It's proper. It's a tourist attraction. It's beautiful. It's got beautiful people. It's got beautiful languages. So many languages you don't even know which one to start with. It's got one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's 7, right? Yeah, it should be 7. It's got one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Table Mountains. If you're rich as shit, this is the country to come to. This is the country chilling. If you're young and looking for a job, South Africa is not the country to go to. You will be beheaded, especially if you're a foreigner. They treat foreigners like shit over here. Well, not really. I mean, we've improved, you know. Majority of the nation treats them like our own, which is the right thing to do. But then there's always that harsh minority, the same harsh minority that drove Chidema out of the Miss SA competition. That's what I thought. Until I realized that the mother was accused of fraud. But then again, we don't even bother to have a backstory. What if she couldn't afford to feed her children? What if she had to get somehow the ID for the child? And when the child goes viral, when all her hard work pays off, that's when you want to pull her down. She's just about to reach the finish line. So much momentum was with her. You would think, no, actually, you thought she was the next Miss SA. She was representing the country. Fuck if she's South African. But when she was just about to reach the finish line, oh wait, what's that in the distance? She's not South African? If we can get Chidema out of the competition, what else can we do? Give a fuck. You screwed her over. And you know yourselves, the ones I'm talking to, you screwed another person's child over. She had that title in the bag, and you screwed her over. All because the little bird ratted out the fact that she's not South African. Chidema, I feel really bad for you. I was actually rooting for you. And now that the person you wanted is white, nobody's saying nothing. Everybody's quiet again. But anyway, before I go out of topic, if you're rich as shit, South Africa's the #1 location. If you're young and looking for a job, it's not. You will be beheaded here, not only by the government, but by its actions as well. We've reached a level where even looking at these government officials makes our skin curl because of the amount of lies we've been told by them. Wasn't it a few months ago, Mrs. Angie Motshekga, pardon my Greece, Mrs. Angie Motshekga spoke of the increase in demand of TVET colleges because companies are looking for students from TVET colleges because the students from TVET colleges are more practical, and it's always good to have more practical students in the game. It's just how it works. But then, when you actually do the research, you realize that about 10 students on an average of 10 students, 10 to 20 students actually leave the TVET college. In my local area, I ran a survey, and an average of 10 or 20 students leave the college to go get a job yearly. Out of all those students that enrolled in there, out of all those students that had to make the ID copies, that had to make the proof of residence, that had to make the NSFAS applications, that had to wait in those long, terrible queues with the God knows how it behaves staff. Out of all those thousands of children, you get a few who get the job. It's not because they failed, but it's because we live in an age where in order to just be decent and have a job, a decent minimum paying job, you need to be so freaking unique. We don't live in the Industrial Revolution anymore. We don't live in the age where if you're 8 years old, they just take you into a factory because they need an extra pair of hands. That time is gone. We live in an age where artificial intelligence can take your fucking job. Lucky for me, I don't have a job. I do content creation. Nobody can replace the Summer Sambit. There's dozens of Summer Sambits out there, but none is the Summer Sambit. There's dozens of public speakers. There's dozens of motivational people who do their own form of motivational content, but there's something unique about them. Just as much as there's something unique about me, and as much as there's something unique about you, which is what you're not getting acknowledged for. You're not getting acknowledged for your uniqueness. They're just going to look at your paper, and if your paper doesn't say anything more than an 80%, you are making a U-turn, sir or ma'am. Especially if there's a lot of people applying for that place. Because of how scarce it is in terms of the places the young kids, the young people have to apply for in order to get jobs, a decent job. Do you know how many people I know have engineering diplomas? I'm talking electrical engineering, second-year diplomas from the same TVET colleges I learn in, who are still jobless, sitting at home right now, texting me on a daily basis like they've got fucking nothing to do. It's scary, especially when you finish school. If you're still in school and you're watching this, nah, it's not gonna feel that hard. Wait until you finish school. Wait until you feel what I've been feeling, what all the other kids who've been screwed over are feeling. And then you'll realize why I talk so much about this. So yes, I was right. I was right about the country going backwards. I was right about the unemployment rate, which in fact increased to 35% today. Breaking news. And I was right about the government officials who keep promising us things we know we're not going to get in 4 years, 6 years, God knows how long. We know we're not getting it. And the reason why I say this is because of the video I made earlier. And if you haven't watched that, you should watch it. Because I uploaded this video today. I uploaded it this morning. It's the afternoon right now. The sun is bright. It's a sunny day. Everyone's feeling okay. Well, I'm feeling okay. So I decided to release another one. And I'm going to release another one because I've been freed from the chains of college. I've been freed from the lies I've been told and the things I've been convinced about. You're telling me if I get my diploma this year, I'm guaranteed to have a job? Shut the fuck up. I know that's not true. And I have my reasons. One of them being there's people I know with the higher diploma I want, I'm going after, that are still jobless. So you're telling me they're going to have to be out of the ordinary? They need to go back and sit down in class to get a higher mark just so that they can get a minimum paying job? What's the stipend nowadays? 5,500 per month? You spend 2 fucking years grinding your ass out. Even using bananas. I know your tricks. For those who know, you know. You know what I mean when I say bananas. You even resorted to that, only to not be guaranteed a job in the end. You should sit down. This is the time to sit down and think of what you're really doing with your life. Because the state of this country is certainly not a state to be having a job in. If there was ever a time to be a member of the youth and think of having a job, it's not in this country. It's not in this country. If you think I'm wrong, then tell me why so many of the people you know are going overseas. There's someone in your life you know. Someone in your life who know is going overseas because they've got a better job opportunity. A better job opportunity. Yeah, right. You didn't get a job here and they offered you something over there. Except if you're experienced. I mean, if you're an experienced individual with qualifications, then this is the place to work at. I mean, they're pretty kind with old people. They're pretty kind with senior members, pardon my Greece. They're very kind with people who've been in the game for years and know what they're doing. I'm not saying the youth don't know what they're doing, but they knew it in the game. And unfortunately, it's just not the same for us. The waters are not as shallow for us. It's a deep iceberg that we are pushed into. But anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to mention of how right I was, about the video I went viral in. And I went viral for a reason. Don't start saying I just went viral out of luck. No, I'm consistent. I know my shit. That's why I went viral. People were agreeing to me. There are 11 languages in South Africa, and I woke up that morning and I said, I'm going to speak facts. That's the language I speak from now, and I'm going to speak facts. Alright, I speak the other languages, but the main one I'm going to speak is not English, it's facts. Shout out to the guy who commented that. I see you. But yeah, that's about it. I was right. Again. I was right the other day about city power. And then I was right again the other day about another topic I was talking about. I just talk about so many things nowadays, I just forget. But watch those 2 videos. I might put them right here, or I might be too fucking lazy to and not even edit this at all and just release it to you as it is. Raw, unfiltered. And speaking of raw and unfiltered, I noticed that a majority of you are not subscribed to my channel. I was checking in my YouTube studios. That majority of you are actually not subscribed. And if you enjoy my content, I kindly ask that you subscribe because it actually helps me so much. It motivates me, especially where I am right now. It just motivates me so much. So please subscribe and show some love if you want to see more of the Summer Sambit. Alright, I love you guys and thank you for so much support. There is no the Summer Sambit without the people actually watching him and listening to the message he has and what he represents. So I kindly ask you once again, it's free. You can always unsubscribe, but just do it so that you can stay up to date with what I post, because everything I post is gold, little bits of gold that will eventually become a huge stack of gold that no one can contend me with. Alright, so I hope you subscribe by now and stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you next time. I was right.